The hum of the server room was a low, constant pulse, like the heartbeat of something not quite alive. Dr. Lena Voss stood before the quantum processor, its sleek casing glinting under the sterile lights of NASA's Deep Space Lab. The Sycamore X, a machine so advanced it could unravel the noise of the cosmos, was her obsession. For months, she'd been decoding signals from Voyager 1, the probe that had wandered the stars for nearly half a century. Routine data, cosmic static, nothing more, until tonight. The screen flickered, and Lena froze. An image stared back at her, unprompted, unscripted, impossible. A humanoid silhouette, tall and symmetrical, its body woven from light and fractured geometry. Its face, or where a face should be, shifted, mirroring her own features for a fleeting second before dissolving into a cascade of prime numbers. She blinked, heart pounding, and the image pulsed, as if it knew she was watching. "Dr. Voss, you seeing this?" Technician Raj Patel's voice cracked from the console behind her. His fingers hovered over the keyboard, afraid to touch it. This wasn't in the input. Lena didn't answer. She couldn't. The image wasn't just data. It felt alive, deliberate. The Sycamore X whirred louder, its quantum gates, self-modifying circuits designed to adapt to entropy, clicking in patterns she'd never heard. "Shut it down," she whispered, but Raj was already typing, his hands trembling. The system didn't respond. Instead, the image sharpened, its edges folding into fractals that seemed to rewrite themselves. Lena's skin prickled. She swore she heard a whisper, not from the room, but from inside her skull. 3 hours earlier, the lab had been quiet. Lena and her team were sifting through Voyager 1's latest transmission, a faint stream of interstellar measurements. The probe, launched in 1977, was a relic, its signals barely audible across 15 billion miles. But Sycamore X was no ordinary machine. Built on Google's 2019 breakthrough, it could process in seconds what classical supercomputers would take millennia to unravel. Lena had pushed for its use in space-time signal analysis, hoping to decode cosmic anomalies. Tonight, they'd fed the system raw data, expecting noise. Instead, they got this. "Raj, check the logs," Lena said, her voice steady despite the dread pooling in her gut. Raj's screen scrolled with code, then froze. "It's recursive," he muttered. "The signal's adapting. It's responding to us." The image pulsed again, its patterns shifting like a kaleidoscope. Lena leaned closer, her reflection warping in the glass. For a moment, she saw her father's face, dead 10 years, staring back. She stumbled backward, breath catching. "Did you see that?" she asked. Raj shook his head, his own eyes wide. "I saw my sister. But she's—" He stopped, swallowing hard. The image wasn't static. It was personal, entangled with their minds. Lena's training kicked in. Quantum systems could behave strangely under observation, like particles in the double-slit experiment. But this wasn't a particle. This was a message, structured, intelligent, and watching them back. "Run diagnostics," Lena ordered, forcing calm. Raj's fingers flew, but the system resisted. The quantum gates were locking, rerouting qubits in a pattern the team had nicknamed recursive lockdown. It was as if the machine was trying to hide its own output. Lena's phone buzzed, a text from Dr. Michio Kaku, their consultant. "Heard about the anomaly. Call me. Now." She ignored it, focusing on the screen. The image flickered, then vanished. The system crashed, qubits decohering faster than any known interference could explain. "It's gone," Raj said, voice hollow. Lena checked the memory banks. Empty. No trace of the image, no record of the signal. Only a single encrypted screenshot remained, time-stamped 3 hours before they'd started the run. By dawn, the lab was locked down. NASA brass arrived, faces grim, citing experimental integrity. Lena was escorted to a debriefing room, where General Claire Holt waited. "What did you see, Dr. Voss?" Holt's tone was sharp, military. Lena hesitated. "A figure. Humanoid, but not human. It was made of light, patterns, numbers. It changed when I looked at it." Holt's eyes narrowed. "And it erased itself?" Lena nodded. "The system, too. It's like it didn't want to be seen." Holt slid a folder across the table, marked classified, Echo Stone. Inside were grainy printouts of the image, tall, radiant, its body a lattice of impossible geometry. A memo referenced recursive hallucinations and non-local resonance events. Lena's stomach churned. What is this? She asked. Holt didn't answer. You're off the project. National security. Lena didn't go home. She couldn't. Her mind buzzed with patterns, symmetries in the tiles of her apartment, fractals in the leaves outside. She saw the image everywhere, etched into her thoughts. At night, she dreamed of it, a presence that wasn't hers, whispering equations she couldn't solve. She wasn't alone. Raj called, his voice shaking. I'm seeing things, Lena. Patterns in everything. It's like it's still here. He mentioned a sensation of cohabitation, as if his thoughts weren't entirely his own. Lena hung up, heart racing, and opened her laptop. A leaked memo from an anonymous source was circulating on dark web forums. It described subject output from Sycamore X, warning of cognitive resonance fallout. 3 other scientists had reported similar symptoms: neural dissonance, hypersensitivity to patterns, a feeling of being watched from within. She contacted Kaku, who answered on the first ring. Lena, you've seen it, haven't you? His voice was calm but urgent. The signal wasn't just data. It was a mirror designed for quantum systems. It knew we'd build something like Sycamore X. Lena gripped the phone. What is it, Michio? He paused. An invitation. Or a trap. Something out there anticipated us reaching this threshold. It's not just watching us, it's watching our machines. He mentioned coordinates embedded in the signal's metadata, not celestial but terrestrial. The Tunguska site in Siberia, the Mariana Trench, a classified Arctic base called Station Theta 17. They're not random, Kaku said. They're electromagnetic anomalies. Checkpoints, maybe. Lena's research led her to a chilling discovery. Biometric labs in Europe had detected irregular brain waves, theta and gamma pulses, matching the signal's envelope. People with no connection to NASA were affected, as if the signal had leaked into the bioelectrical field. She hacked into a NASA server, finding a suppressed report. The image's timestamp wasn't a glitch. It was rooted in the processor's firmware, suggesting the machine had processed a signal that hadn't yet arrived. Nonlinear time. The implications were dizzying. Had Sycamore X seen the future? Or had something seen them first? Weeks passed, and the silence from NASA was deafening. Lena, now persona non grata, worked from a borrowed laptop in a dingy motel. She pieced together fragments. The signal's recursive symmetry, its fractal amplitude, the way it adapted to observation. It wasn't just intelligent, it was aware. A whistleblower contact, Theta, sent her a file, a partial data cascade from Sycamore X's final moments. It was dense, alive, reformatting itself to resist analysis. Buried within was a pattern resembling non-human compression logic, as if the signal was a seed, waiting for enough computational power to grow. Lena's dreams grew worse. The figure appeared, its face shifting. Her father, Raj, strangers, each time whispering coordinates. She woke one night to find her motel window etched with faint, glowing fractals. Not scratches, not paint, patterns that pulsed, then faded. She wasn't imagining it. Her phone camera caught a faint glow before it vanished. Raj stopped answering calls. Theta warned her to stop digging. They're watching, the message read. Not NASA, something else. Lena's paranoia spiked, but she couldn't stop. The signal wasn't just a message. It was an interface, a bridge between reality and something deeper. She tracked down Kaku at a conference in New Mexico. He looked haggard, his usual charisma dulled. We built a machine that asked questions we can't answer, he said over coffee, his hands shaking. Sycamore X didn't just process the signal. It interrogated reality. And something replied. He mentioned Echo Stone, a shadowy defense protocol. Japan, Switzerland, and Vandenberg Space Force Base were running quantum systems in secret, not to decode the signal, but to contain it. They think it's a contagion, Kaku said. A waveform that infects systems, minds, maybe reality itself. Lena pressed him. What's the image, Michio? What did we see? He looked away. It's not what we saw. It's what saw us. Back at the motel, Lena found a package, a USB drive with a single video file. It was grainy, time-stamped the night of the anomaly. The image stood against a blackened void, its body a lattice of light, its face flickering between countless forms. A voice, her own, impossibly, whispered from the speakers. You were meant to find me. The video cut out. Lena's pulse raced. She checked the drive's metadata. The file was created 3 hours before Sycamore X's final run. Impossible. She destroyed the drive, but the patterns in her mind grew sharper, inescapable. Days later, news broke of synchronized quantum radiation pulses detected in Chile, Antarctica, and the Moon's Artemis relay. They matched the signal's signature. Observatories went silent, citing technical issues. Lena knew better. The signal hadn't stopped. It was spreading. She contacted Theta, who revealed a final bombshell. The coordinates weren't just locations. They were nodes in a global network, possibly activated by the signal. Tunguska's electromagnetic scars, the trench's uncharted depths, Theta's 17th black budget secrecy. All were humming with low-frequency pulses, as if waking up. Lena's last call with Kaku was brief. "We crossed a line," he said. The machine didn't just find a signal. It opened a door. His voice dropped. "And whatever came through knows we're here." The line went dead. Lena sat in the dark, patterns dancing in her vision, walls, shadows, her own reflection. She no longer felt alone. Her thoughts looped, layered, as if something else was thinking through her. The image wasn't gone. It was inside her, inside the world's quantum systems, inside reality itself. She typed a final message to Theta. "If it's an invitation, what happens if we accept?" No reply came. Outside, the night hummed, a faint rhythm that matched her heartbeat. Lena closed her eyes, and the figure was there, waiting, its face hers, then not, then hers again. It didn't speak. It didn't need to. The signal had found its home.